streaming and gleaming and looking for that shit. What's up, creepers and kickers? Chris, the Atari Creep. How's everyone doing today? As usual, let me get my ducks in a row. Not that I think there's anyone even here yet, you know. But let's see what we got going on here. These look a little glitchy. Well, we're just gonna have to fucking deal with it, aren't we? We're just gonna have to deal with it. Because that's just the way of the samurai here on my channel. What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Alright, so I'm gonna move this over here because I just need that for that, so I can see you guys chitter-chattering, hopefully. And, yeah, that's it. So, we got a couple of topics to talk about today. They're in the thumbnail. Hopefully that worked out pretty well. If you know what I mean. But before we do that, we got a new giddle fiddle. A new giddle fiddle in the Creep farm here. It's a 1990 Les Paul Studio. It's actually been in the house for over 2 years now. What do you want, honey?
I was just walking past.
Okay, just walk past. The girls dance, and I do the dad dance every year with them, and you know, when it was allowed, just to be fun, you know, because usually the dance recitals are in June or May, usually close to the Father's Day. So they get a bunch of the dads together, and we get up on stage and we dance. And of course we rehearse something first, but the school owner gets together with us, and maybe someday we'll look at it. It's got licensed music in it, but it's still fun to watch. But one of them was like, "Oh, you work on guitars and stuff, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." So he's like, "I had this Les Paul," and he told me he bought it in '87, which is impossible because I looked up the serial number, and this thing's a 1990. In fact, it was made the day before my birthday, 1990. It was finished on March the 7th. Remember March the 8th, okay? On each and every one of you to send me a fucking card. But, just kidding. You're not getting my address, dick face. And he's like, "It's been sitting in my basement since however long, and the basement flooded at one point." He goes, "I don't even know if it's usable. If I gave it to you, would you just, take your time with it?" So I'm like, yeah, hand it over. Hand it over, buddy. So he handed it over, and the neck had a little bit of a twist in it, so we worked that out. It wasn't that bad. It just ended up being put on a jig, Not in my home. I don't have a jig for that kind of thing. A friend of mine is doing an experimental thing. But regardless. But then it came back here, and what it really needed was a new three-way switch. The other one literally just fell apart. It wasn't fixable. The only other damage was, and you're not going to be able to see it. I mean, you can see that. The finish is removed. But there's a lot of finish checking going vertically, and that's pretty typical of moisture damage on these nitrocellulose finishes. But then it just sat in its case, like literally right behind my computer in the corner where the lamp is. Year and a half? Almost 2 years, because COVID jumped in there and the dance class was over. I lost the guy's number. But we did have a recital a couple weeks ago. We had a fucking recital a couple of weeks ago, and dude was like, "Hey, just keep the fucking thing." That was the whole point. Because I stopped him. I said, "Hey, I don't want you to know. I want you to know that I didn't forget about you. But I have it ready to go. So tell me where to meet you up." And he's like, "No. The idea was for you to fix it and keep it. You hang on to it, buddy. I want someone to actually play it." So I got a fucking free Les Paul. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a little worse for wear, but it's actually not bad. The finish just has a lot of checking in it. The rest of it works fine. I put a chrome tip on it. Oh, I did have to replace the jack. Fucking whore. I did have to replace the jack plate. because that was crumbled. Those are plastic. Those are junk. I don't know why Gibson still uses those, but I got a metal one, a chrome one to match everything else, and it's been just fine. Now I have it plugged into my Blues Junior clone, and it doesn't like that amp. That amp hates fucking humbuckers. I don't know why, but my PV is directly underneath it, and I'm just too lazy to swap out the cords and everything. So let me set up here, and we'll get to our first topic. Let me see what's going on, if there's any, because I have a window opened up to see if there's any comments, but I'm not comfortable with that. I really need to get a second screen, and I don't have a second screen because I haven't been able to afford it. I don't have a second screen because I'm fucking lazy, guys. I'm fucking lazy. So let me do this. Let me shut the sound off on this and have something for chitter chatter. And then we'll just leave that right here. All right, look at that. Let's see. It has a nice patina. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. It does, and I think I might put some, have you ever seen, I think it's called the Bullets and Bones? I think it's called the Bullets and Bones. And it's got like little metal studs every, say, half inch all the way around. I might start doing stuff like that too. I mean, overall, believe it or not, the finish looks great, except for that one corner down by the jack. I actually at one point thought about sanding the whole thing down, refilling where the maple cap is to the mahogany, because there is a slight gap now, but it's not peeling. I did inject some hide glue in there and scrape the edges just so it would stay together. Yes, I still have hide glue somewhere, and but hide glue is awesome. Hide glue, oh, and the smell. But and doing like a pseudo gold top to this thing. I've always wanted a gold top. Always just wanted a gold top. But no, I'm going to leave it as is. That's the bridge pickup. Okay, first topic. Let's get into this. This thing right here, okay? And the reason I want to talk about it is because it's been floating around for a long time. And every now and again, the Atari Age Facebook group, shit, I just dropped my pick, brings this up. And I actually have some interaction with this ad as recent as like a month or two ago. And I don't know if this is the same seller. I didn't take note of any of that. But this will pop up every now and again as an art piece, okay? Let's see. We'll go over the whole thing. There's really not much to talk about. Atari 2600 system console melted art piece sculpture for display DQ. Whatever DQ is. Condition for parts or not working as pictured, which is fine. But then homeboy here wants $164.99. And if I remember correctly, it was at $250 when I interacted with this individual, or whomever I interacted with at the time. Plus $10 shipping, $9.96 shipping. Okay? This is the only picture they have of it. So let's have a look at it. It looks like it's in a surgical area, doesn't it? With that blue paper. Isn't that the same kind of stuff that they put over you just before they cut you open? They just make a little hole where they're going to be working? I don't know. I'm not a surgeon. I've never played one on TV either. But what we have here is a very heavily melted 4-switch Woodrow, 4-switch video computer system, wood grain, and 2 controllers. And this is your whole lot. This is exactly what you're going to get. And I think I had a missed opportunity, but we'll talk about it here in a minute. So like I said, when I interacted with this individual, I think it was at $250. I could be wrong. I could be way off on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And I got so sick and tired of seeing this fucking thing floating around. I finally messaged the guy and just said, look, I'm going to make an offer for $25. I'll pay the shipping. But you got to understand, this is what this console working would be valued at. And you can call it an art piece all you fucking want. But it's a busted 2600. I want it off the fucking market. And I honestly think it would just be an interesting shelf piece, you know? And he agreed. He agreed to it. He actually accepted the $25. The reason I didn't go forward with it is because at that point, The dude went from $250 to $25. Now, I understand if you've had something for sale for so long, eventually you'll take a lower price than you initially wanted to. That's greater, much lower than the price that you actually are asking, you know. But $25 just seemed to be unreasonable to jump to right away. He didn't even come back at me with anything like $100. So I got wet feet and thought, fuck. This is probably some kind of a scam. Probably isn't. And if you're actually watching this, dude, you know what? That offer still stands. Message me, and I'll come back and I'll make the offer again, and then I'll hit the buy it now and all that crap. So, because it would be fun to clean this up a little bit and see if it even works. I would love to plug this in and see what happens before even opening it up and seeing what happened with the board. Because overall, I mean, I don't know. The switches look like they're right where they need to be, but who knows what's underneath there. I mean, the case could have taken all the heat, but we don't know. We don't know. So moving on to the description, and there's really not much to talk about here. I just totally missed it. More 4 parts and all that stuff. He literally just had... Oh, here it is. Here it is. I'll highlight the whole description. Atari 2600 system console. Melted art piece sculpture for display. It's not a sculpture, but whatever. As pictured, everything pictured is included. You know what? This is this is what I would do. Just to be a jerk after, you know, diming this guy down to $25, which I admit was a dickhead, but he accepted it, you know. And I don't think this is worth more than any of that anyway. I think this is just more of a... Maybe the bottom case that doesn't look like it got damaged could be reused, honestly. And there are parts on this that could probably get reused. But regardless, I'd be pissed if that blue cloth didn't come with it. It says everything pictured. That blue cloth better fucking come with it. But I don't know what's going on. I need to put on my glasses so I can see what you're commenting here. I normally have it up on the screen. Now I have to use my phone today. I dug an Atari Junior out of the garbage bin once. Should have sold it as an art piece instead of restoring it. No, you did the right thing. You did the right thing, M. Oliver. I'm just going to call you Oliver, okay? Looks like someone sat on it. You know what? You're right. You're right. It almost looks like... And you can see where the controllers were when the fire was happening. Look at that. It's an interesting piece. The cartridge slot looks like it's unscathed, though ashy and dirty. I can't imagine what it smells like. And maybe there's some water damage too from the fire department. But I don't know. I messaged this guy, offered 25. He jumped on it right away, and I got a little cold feet. And I kind of wish I hadn't. But yeah, I think you did the right thing. I think you did the right thing with your restoration of the Juniors. Juniors are such cool consoles. The plastic they use sucked. It is so brittle. Taking one of those apart is so... What's the word I'm looking for? It's so treacherous. It's like... Oh, every time I have to take a Junior apart, my anxiety is so fucking skyrocketed high. And it's insane. Can you hear that? Can you hear that at all? I suppose now that the tombs are warmed up that it's okay. No, this amp doesn't like humbucker at all. Does not like it at all. Maybe if I turn the gain all the way down, just use the pedal to add gain to it. I don't know. Okay, you sure can hear it. Great. Thanks, Oliver. All right. So, give you a little G-chord before we move on to our next item of discussion. So, this was messaged to me from a friend of mine, whom will be remained anonymous. It doesn't really matter. Hey, have you seen that? Canadians GameStop basically is what EB Games is. I believe. If I'm missaying that, please let me know, in the chat or the comments. But I believe EB Games is the Canadian version of our GameStop. They might even be the same company. I don't know. But you can buy controllers. Well, you can pre-order extra controllers for your Amico. A set of 2 for $99. I'm guessing. Yeah, see, there's no description. There's no description yet. So, a lot of times, and Tommy's been talking about these have been placeholders and stuff. Like when we talked about the controller overlays, he's like, those are just quick images as placeholders. We're going to get it looking a lot better here soon. And it's one of those things where you just had to get some information out there, and that's fine. I can't imagine that not being annoying, but I'm going to do that a lot. But, all right, enough of that. But I saw this after my friend sent me the link, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And the price is what's jumping out at me. Now, mind you, this is 99 Canadian dollars, okay? So I want to say that translates to roughly $80 to $85 American for 2 controllers. Now, don't quote me on that. This could, again, just be a placeholder image. It was my understanding that these were going to be, well, I guess that would be about right if you bought it in bulk. About $50 to $70 a piece. Something like that. I don't remember the exact pricing because the last time I spoke on it, I got all kinds of different answers from people. So we'll just say between $50 and $70 each. So at about $99 for the package of 2, I think that works out pretty well. I like this better than the alternative when it comes to other consoles. We won't mention the big end. Linda, how you doing? Thanks for coming by. We talked about a certain brand's attempt at 2 controllers in the box, and it got heated or anything, and people talking about opinions and feelings and stuff, and they're right. That's how I feel. I feel the Joy-Con together as one thing as a controller to get separated is caca. It's caca. Though it works, doesn't mean it's ideal, okay? Whereas here we have 2 full-size controllers for the system itself. Hopefully, some kind of a charging cradle will be coming along soon, if not third-party, directly from them themselves. I know they got to work on the consoles and everything. I know they got to get that out before they start doing these little accessory things. But I'm pretty sure back burner or backstage there's things going on. But if you could buy 2 replacements for $100, that beats going in and buying a fucking set of Joy-Cons for $75, $80 all day long. So I think there's another up on the Switch. It's just my opinion. I'm not saying that the Amico is going to be better on a technical aspect, but because I'm enjoying the fuck out of our Switch. We need to do more Switch games. I just feel weird putting the cell phone in front of the TV playing Switch games when it's a modern console and I should have modern capturing technology. But I don't, and I won't, and what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Let's see, what we got going on here? Oliver says, $100 for 2 iPods is a great deal. Fair point. Modern controllers are friggin' expensive. Yeah, I'm not going to comment on the quality of the controllers or anything like that, or if I would prefer to play with this versus another one, because I've never had one of these in my hand. And I'm still questioning my ability to use it. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and poo-poo on the controller because it hasn't come out yet. And I'm by no means saying that the design sucks. I don't mind the disc on the original Intellivision. What about the disc I do mind is its functionality and how they chose to use it. They did what they could at the time. This one was thought out a little bit more. There's more tactile feedback. It's a little bit raised. I'm sure it's going to be a little more exacting. And hopefully they'll be doing certain things so you know what's going on with your thumb. Because let's face it, when you have a big round disc, up, down, left, and right can be troublesome. But it looks like they're working on elevating the next generation of that kind of controls. Whether you like it or not, it is what it is. That's personal. That's very subjective. The placement of the buttons may work for me. I don't know. But as long as there's something on the touch screen, I suppose. The controllers are going to be interesting. I bet you that's going to be my first hurdle. But from what I'm seeing everyone getting into, It seems like it's just like, oh, okay, oh, all right. And then you just kind of fall into it and you play. Plus, the games aren't going to be all that complicated anyway. But more so, let's talk about the aesthetic. The aesthetic here. Don't mind that noise. You can hear that in the background. I got one 13-year-old girl. Actually, on the Switch, are you playing Animal Crossing? When you have electronics in her hand, she doesn't. You could talk all day long. She doesn't know you're fucking there. But she does. She does have the Switch in the other room. But I dig this. It's better than just like purple. You know, it's got that little flake thing going on. I don't think that's going to be metallic. I think that's a faux texture. Really nice looking. Now, these are probably rendered. I don't know. I don't know. I'm 50-50 on that. I think there's some physicality to this with some rendering on it. But regardless, that's not what's important. What's important is they look great. They were only $80 for the set, 80 to 85, depending on what the exchange rate. Please remember, if you're coming in late, that this is all Canadian dollars. We're here at EB Games. And they, of course, have the console. And that's the main reason why I think that they're the Canadian affiliate of, or the Canadian company version of GameStop, because they have the purple. And that's a GameStop fucking exclusive. So, I don't know. I just thought that was pretty interesting that we're slowly getting things in other countries for sale. For pre-orders. Listen to that sustain. Love this thing. This thing's awesome. I had one in '92. It was wine red with gold hardware, but I had the trapezoid inlays. Oh man, I wish I had never sold that guitar. I wish I had never sold that guitar. It was a great, although it'd probably be gone by now. You know, between ex-wives and shit like that. Oh, well, one ex-wife. All right, let's see what's going on here. Not much is going on in the chat. Cool. We can move on to the next topic, I suppose. Wow, this is going to be a quick stream. So, my intention originally wasn't to watch this. Shit, I opened up the wrong fucking thing. Let me move you over, you dumbass. I'm the dumbass. My intention wasn't to... I gotta turn on another mic. There might be a little bit of an echo here. If there is, my bad. Deal with it. To watch this trailer, because it's legitimately just an updated version of the old trailer, but I figured, what the fuck? Let's watch it a little bit. Let's break it down just slightly. Let's get rid of that thing there. And, yeah, I don't know. Let's see what's doing. I've already watched it, by the way. Spoilers. But it came out a couple days ago. And I've said in the past, let me pause it here, that whenever something new from Intellivision comes up as minuscule, we'll at least talk about it, you know. So, might as well keep up with the...
To bring family and friends back together.
Yeah. So this is literally just a reworking of one of the original trailers. I recognize the shirt.
From the controls, the complexity, the menu screens, I mean, everything about it just screams, you know, hardcore gamer.
Okay, you know what? Let's do this as a breakdown thing, okay? The thing's only 2 minutes and 44 seconds long anyway. And I need to pad out the stream to make it worth fucking while. So he just talked about the controller. And I talked about my feelings on the Amico controller and how I think it might be a slight hurdle, just the design of it, only because, and again, I'm basing everything off of the original Intellivision controller. This bad boy right there. And, but you give me an Xbox controller or anything to like, even my Pro controller that I bought with the little Halloween thing, I just see all those buttons, and people come up and go, no, it's not that hard. It's like, well, it's not that hard for you. You got to remember that, you know. People will sit there and say, oh, if I can do it, you can do it. I hate that expression. I say it a lot. I hate that expression, and because, no, maybe they can't. Maybe they can't. I've been playing Friday the 13th here and there. I haven't been playing it half as much as I was hoping to. But it's a whole double thumbstick, and you know, you get 2 buttons up here, you get 2 buttons here, and you get the 4 buttons over here, and you get these fucking thumbsticks that go up all wibbly wobbly, and then you got to press them into to do certain things, to crouch and do. That's just too much for me. I can barely play a fucking arcade game these days. So, when he says stuff like this is what makes me interested in the Amico. I mean, I know I'm not going to get AAA games on the Amico controller. I know that's not going to happen. And that's not what I'm looking to get. That's not what I'm looking to get. I didn't mean to turn this into a pro Amico video. I just wanted to talk about a few things. But fuck it, right? Let's break this down. I don't think I've done a full breakdown on any of these things. Friday the 13th is a fun game if you have lots of friends to play it with. Oh, I can imagine it would be. I'm interested in seeing how long that the controller disc will last. Yeah, I suppose that's another legitimate concern. I haven't thought about the longevity of the products, not just the disc, but the console and the whole hardware itself. As long as it's made well, I see it working. I mean, we'll see. I haven't been able to feel the controller, so I couldn't tell you, even people who don't know, they can pick something up and play around with it and go, this doesn't feel like it's going to last long, or wow, this is, I keep hearing about how solid it is, but that could be the girth of the thing. You know what I mean? It looks like it's a hefty piece of tech, but all right, moving on. Hopefully that's not too loud. I'm sorry if it is.
People used to play games with their families and friends all in a room together, and that doesn't happen anymore.
Okay, so let's address that. There's a 50-50 thing I want to talk about with this. All right, a lot of people will talk about that there is still co-op gaming. So again, let's just talk Switch. That there's plenty of cheap co-op style gaming on the Switch. That's true. And me, the two girls, and my lady have had plenty of fun hanging out in that living room together, playing Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, and that's the same idea. And I'll say this. There's a few times where the four of us are together having fun. Very few. They're 13, both of the girls, they're twins. My girl does her own thing, I do my thing here, and it's like we hardly ever it's just a modern society, But when we do that, we have a good time. And yes, you can do that on the Switch, and that's been proven. I think what the difference is here, whether or not you really care about it or not, is that this console is designed specifically to do that. Whereas, say, the Switch, it's designed for you to play games, but the option to bring friends in are there. Reverse that for the Amico, whereas they're talking about this is a party system that you can play by yourself, but that's not its strength. And he talks a lot about, do you remember the best time gaming was always with a few friends or whatever? And it's true. I mean, just look at the N64 era. Maybe even the GameCube with, say, Melee and Smash Bros. But let's specifically just talk about the N64 and your college experience if you did go to college during that time. Everybody I know has stories about all their buddies from college hanging out in the dorm room, eating pizza, smoking a joint, and playing N64, having a few beers, or whatever your vice was. And if you didn't have a vice, that's fine. You all got together, ate junk food, and played whatever all night long, and had a blast doing it. And up until before even Amico was announced, I can remember people talking all the time that they wish that kind of thing was still going on, I tell many stories of sitting in my buddy's basement where this fucking kid had two 2600s. He had a ColecoVision and an Atom system that was by itself. There was two Atoms. There was one that you could hook a Coleco to and one that was all by itself. He had both of those, and he also had a Master System. And I spent more time at that kid's house, not because of the consoles, but just because of reasons. I spent more time at his house than I did at my own. And I can't tell you the stories, man. 3, 4 in the fucking morning, we're still playing Kaboom or Space Harrier. Oh my God, we played Space Harrier on his Master System all hours of the night. And we would wake the dawn. We would wake the sun up with that game. And those were some of the best times of my childhood growing up. And if that was not your experience because you grew up in a different generation of games, that's fine. And you're not going to really truly kind of get that. And even though, you can do that on the systems right now. It's not really designed to do that. So I think by designing a system that's its strength, it's a different market that he's trying to tap into. And I don't want to get into all that. But I think that is the big selling point besides the simplicity of it for me. The Switch isn't going to make me want to have all my buddies come over because the majority of the games, they're just solitary. The majority of them. I can seek out other ones. Whereas with my Amico, whether I have one game or 2,500 games, every single one of them I can bring a few buddies over and be like, hey, what are you in the mood to play? You guys want to shoot at each other? You want to race? Do you want to fucking, crash in a car? Whatever. And there'll be something there to do that. And I think that alone right there would make me pull out the Amico probably more than my Switch when people come over. I don't think it'll be an integrity thing, and I don't think it'll be a what is this little thing, or it's like a fucking leapfrog, or an Ouya or whatever. I don't think it would turn into that. I think people would sit there and see just games, They won't look at it the same. They won't look at it with the eyes of a video game system. I'm hoping they look at it as just something fun to do. How about that? Let's get rid of the title altogether. Just something fun to do. And it just happens to be a video game style entertainment machine. You know what I mean? I hope that made sense. That literally just came to mind. And when Tommy gets off of vacation, I'm gonna forward him to this and see what he thinks about that. Not that I truly care what he thinks about my thoughts. I do. I mean, he's a good dude, and he's taking care of me, not financially or anything like that. But him and I have, we've talked throughout the years. He's just a good dude. We pass funny things back and forth, condolences and stuff like that. We're not best friends, and we're not going to take showers together. But, I don't know, who knows? Maybe we will. But it's 2021. I'm open to anything. But regardless, you get what I'm saying. The whole co-op thing, even going so far as the Nintendo, the original NES, it was a different vibe. It was different. Like Contra and stuff like that. Yeah, you still did that, but it just had a whole different vibe to it. It was a different thing earlier on. I mean, I guess I should include the NES since I included the Master System. I suppose that's only fair. Let's see what's going on here. Slappy, what's up, buddy? I hope you're still here, man. No, it's not that loud. Okay, thanks, Linda. Let's see. Crow, what's up, buddy? Wow, welcome, new peeps. I got 12 people watching. Okay, so let's continue on. I really didn't mean for this to be a breakdown and me gloating about the system, but
Those fondest memories out there of playing video games together is when they were with a group of people.
yeah, me and my buddy and his brother. Once in a while, his sister would come down.
People together. Put them in the same room.
Again, you can do that with other systems right now, but that's not its strength.
Having fun. Communicating. Bringing back that kind of game night.
I don't know if we ever had like game night. I'm sure there were a lot of homes that did. I think Tommy used to relate that a lot with his Intellivision, where there was a specific time where him and his parental units, and maybe even other people like siblings or whatever, would get together on specific nights and play their Intellivision or what have you. But we didn't have like specific game nights. We had sleepovers. We had rainy days. We had days where there was fucking 3 feet of snow on the ground and we were done going out and shoveling other people's driveways for money. And we were tired and just wanted to relax, so we would make a frozen pizza because you had an oven in the basement. Yeah, this kid's house was pretty fun. And we would do that. So there wasn't like game nights for us, but I digress. Family. I have an affordable family? You've never had twin 13-year-old girls. That's not very affordable at all.
Playing games. Having fun. No matter what skill level you're
I like that idea too.
at. That's the magic.
Oh, let me get rid of the...
Bring back
Sorry.
with the Intellivision. United
And then we got, your typical, these games look great to me. They're not going to fucking win any awards or anything, and they're not the most modern looking thing. But it's always been proven that you don't have to have the most incredible looking fucking graphics to be an incredibly fun game. I mean, just look at what I play. I play the Atari 2600. I play with cubes, the little boxes all over the screen that are supposed to represent stuff. And I have a blast doing it. Okay, let's shut this off. And let me go into my actual chat thing. So we finally watched it. That was the updated version. I believe it was cut for more energy. If I remember correctly, I don't remember what the original one was like. And the music was a little bit more, yeah, let's fucking do this shit. If I didn't have the guitar, I would pretend to tackle you, but I don't mind breaking this shit. I don't want to hurt this anymore. This thing's been through hell, And I resurrected it, and I'm happy I did. I keep playing that E pentatonic for you. I'm sorry. Oh, of course. Hopefully it's spam, so they just go the fuck away. But, yeah, I mean, that's all I had for you. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's gonna be spam. So, just to recap for anyone who's coming in, we talked about this here, if you want to go back, and we started off with this here. A console that keeps popping up. Yeah, it is what it is. The guy keeps asking crazy prices for it. I made him an offer, and then I got cold feet. Thinking it might have just been a scam. Maybe I'll reach out to them one more time and be like, I'm sorry. When you accepted it that quickly without bargaining back, I thought it was a scam. We talked about this. EB Games has pre-orders for the Amico controllers. I really do like that purple. With the little sparkly. I don't want to call it like a metal flake, because it's probably just, like I said, a texture, a faux texture within the paint finish, not in feel. And then we watched the Intellivision redo trailer, or whatever you want to call it. Pretty action-packed, full-packed stream. So I guess I'm just going to open it up for now. I'll just open it up. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let me see what we got going on. Clico Joe. Pay me the D-sus, bro. I have no idea what that means. Ahoy, welcome peeps. Clico Joe, what's up, man? Glad you came in. That black and blue LED highlighter thing, the sexy Tron vibes. You know what? It's funny, when that one first was shown, that's what everyone kept saying. It's like the Tron edition. And I'll admit, I do also have another confession. I never really watched her. I think I've seen the first movie. I know I haven't seen the second one. I think I've seen the first one. I don't remember if I have. I can't sit there and tell you I'm a Tron fan. I can't tell you anything about it. I've played a few of the games. There you go. That's what you get from me. Why is he asking that much? Let's see, old school. Yeah, I don't know. Linda, if you're talking about the melted console, he was originally asking like $250, and I actually offered him $25. I don't know how far back you go with the stream, but I offered him $25, and he accepted it. But I bailed, like a little pussy. I just didn't hit the accept. You know what I mean? When he accepted my offer for $25, because I thought maybe, because it keeps coming up. It keeps popping up at different price points. And it always says the same thing. Art, melted art, display art, And I suppose that's one way to market something like that. It's a damaged console. But if it sticks around long enough, it could be one of those infamous things that, hey, I have the burnt console, that floated around the internet for a little while. It's on my shelf, I don't know. I don't know where that number came from. I don't know where the original price came from. And I'm sure there were other prices along the way. Wow. If I destroyed something, I called it art. And charged for it? Yeah, Crow. I suppose, man. I suppose. Let's see. Linda, no idea. Creep made it $20. $25, buddy. Oh shit, things are moving. The music sounds like Daft Punk. Okay, cool. Okay, let's see. Hoping a sucker, yeah, hoping a sucker would come along, and you know what? Maybe there is somebody that'll sit there and go, "Wow, there's some beatnik or not beatnik. What is the term now? Hipster. Some fucking hipster will come by and toss down a couple $100 for it. You know, would be cool to take an Atari that looks like that and make it functional again. While yeah, maintaining the look and then modding it. You know what I mean? Put some AV cables on the thing, and you know what you could do? Actually, Oliver, holy shit! Hold on, let me finish these comments. We just got something, the Mad Max edition. I got some broken consoles. I'll burn them. Linda says, "Oh, this is turning into a roast." No pun intended. No pun intended. Let me go back into that. All right. So let me pop this up. Let me pop it up in full screen. Well, as full screen as my thing will let me. Think about it. I pop a cartridge in there because the cartridge slot looks like it's fine. I mean, who knows what's underneath it? But I mean, you could essentially go out and get another 2600 and put the board in this thing. I'm pretty sure it would be fine because the bottom case doesn't look like it looks like a lot of heat damage and not direct fire damage. It looks like it was just close enough to the fire, but didn't actually get licked by the flames, if you will. The board very well could be fine, but even if it's not, and the case will come apart, the bottom, from this image anyway, looks like it's fine. So at least there'd be a solid cradle for another board if that's need be. But you get yourself a new board, you Dremel out whatever you need to make sure the switches work properly, because I have a feeling that might be hindered a little bit here and there, especially on the power and the reset button all the way to the right, or the game select start button. Mod it with AV. I mean, fuck it, what do you got to lose at this point, right? Put a pause switch on it. You know what I mean? And then get some LEDs. Some color-changing LEDs or even flickering ones. And make it look like there's a flame on the inside, like yellows, oranges, and blues. And just make it look like while you're playing, I mean, I'm sure that would be obnoxious. But make it look like there's a fire on the inside. There's plenty of room in these things. Especially the force switch. Because those boards aren't this big. They're not this big. They literally, you see where the control panel is? It's that wide. It's only probably about an inch wider than the how do I say this? Look at where the two ends of the switches are. It's probably another inch outward and only about maybe 4 inches in towards the console. And that's it. That's all you got. So there's a fuck ton of room inside that thing. Put one of those strip LEDs around the edge and crisscross it in the middle, and then program it with like an Arduino or something like that to kind of just change orange, red, yellow, blue, in just the right way to make it look like there's a flame underneath there. How amazing would that be? Or you could just put a Raspberry Pi in the fucking thing. Oh, excuse me. Getting the reset switch that far left, yeah, might be an issue. You never know. I mean, you could always just make it look more damaged, but do it proper, you know? Let's see, getting far right. I knew what you meant, buddy. Some idiot paid a king's ransom for wall. Someone will buy this. Yeah, you know what? You're right. You are 100% right. A garbage Atari is stunning 720. Okay. Mm-hmm. Trying to port Crash Bandicoot for the 2600 didn't work so good. Oh, really? Who did that? Laser Active Guy. Thanks for coming by. I don't think I recognize your name. If you've been around for a while, I do apologize for that. Thanks for coming by. But I think that would be cool. I really do. You know what? Maybe I will message this cat. I'm going to Disney in 17 days. I can't be spending fucking money. I can't. But I'll toss this guy $25 for this if he's agreeable again. If it's still available when I get back, and I'm pretty sure it will be, hopefully. Maybe I will. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll make it a series of what can we do with this fucking thing, you know? I do have a couple consoles here. One I'd like to give away. I have a 4-switch Woody that we replace the switch on with a 3D printed part that I would love to give away at 2,000 subscribers. We just need to get there. And hopefully it goes to somebody who doesn't have a console. It'd be their first console, you know? So they can start their journey in the Atari. But if it's someone who just wants another console, that's fine. I'll fucking give it to you. I don't give a shit. But I have a console and a handful of games stacked. I just need to get a couple controllers for it. That I want to give away as a package, as a starter here. Here's an Atari. Get started on this thing. Thanks for getting me to 2,000 subscribers, you know. But we need to get to 2,000 subscribers before we do that. It's really that simple. So there you go. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. Trip to Disney. Time to take out a loan. You know what? No, we've done it over the past year. It's not something that we're just doing all at once. We work with a friend of ours we went to school with who's a travel person. And I don't know if this is the typical way of doing something like that because we most certainly don't have the kind of income where we can just be like, you know what, let's go to fucking Disney next week. Let's buy tickets and go, you know. So we set up whatever we wanted to do for however long and we paid it out. We literally just finished paying it off like last month. And I've been saving up over the past year and a half for extra money, you know, to spend there. I got a little bucket here that I put all my coin in and an extra, like if my wallet has like a couple of 1s and a 5 in it, I'll throw that in there too. So no, it's, I totally get it, man. But no, it's a long process, at least from us, on getting to Disney. All right, so I'm just gonna open it up. I'm gonna open it up for an open chat for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna. Wow, those tunes are nice and warmed up now. Use my little fingers here. I'm not even. I like playing with my fingers on Les Pauls and stuff like that. Like I have a cheap Epiphone Les Paul SL, which believe it or not, I love. That thing sounds so much better when you play with your fingers. Whereas my Strat, I mean, unless you're doing simple things like, you know, stuff like that. Or there's a song by Danzig. You know, Strat doesn't like it. My Strat anyway. But this Les Paul, my other one, it likes the fingies. It likes to be fingered. There's your psychological nudity. All right, what's going on in here? Laser Active Guy. Oh, he's talking to Oliver. Apple II. 2600 always mystified me on how you could do some of the later games. Dude, you know what? Laser Active Guy. I'm just going to call you Laser. Laser Brain. No, I'm just kidding. I'll just call you Laser. You're right. Play some ZZ Top. I'm trying to... Trying to stay away from copyright strikes. Maybe if I get a Telecaster. I really want to get a Telecaster. Even more so than having this. I love having this. But I think I may turn it into an Esquire Telecaster. Meaning one pickup with the Eldridge mod. So you have a 3-way switch. If you don't know guitars, it doesn't mean shit to you. But I do know I have a few people who play, if anything, bass on my channel. So, but yeah, I'm trying to stay away from copyright strikes. But maybe we'll play some here in a little bit. Laser Brain is good. Yeah, I got Star Wars on the mind today. Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary shirt. God damn, I can't wait to do Savvy's Workshop and build a lightsaber. It's $200. You'll walk away with a somewhat really cool lightsaber. I just want the experience. Ever since I saw that when it first opened up, I was like, yes! The little lady wants to do, one of the girls want to do the Droid Depot. I'm not really going to do that. I'm not going to do the Droid Depot. But we were going to talk about something before all that happened, weren't we? Let's see. It was Laser Brain I think I was going to respond to. No freaking Halo after. Oh. Talking about later games on the Atari 2600. It's amazing what they ended up doing at the end, like with Commando and Kung Fu Master and stuff like that. You know, even some of the earlier games, some of the earlier ones. I mean, and when I say earlier, I don't mean like I'm talking about 82, 83. You know, I mean, the system lasted well into the 80s and almost into the. I think 1990 is when they stopped selling it. The Junior. Somebody correct me on that one. Fuck, I'm way out of touch with my Atari trivia. But it really was impressive what could be done. And I don't even know what goes into it. I really don't know what goes into it. I want to make a game, not for the Atari. I want to make a game for the NES. That's very Atari-centric, if you will. I got a Windows machine over here that was my mom's that I kind of acquired after she passed away. But I can't get into it, and I don't have a recovery key. So as soon as my girl buys herself a new laptop and has a recovery key, I'm just going to use that to go into the BIOS and re-image the fucking thing so I can load the NES Maker or whatever the fuck it's called. That new game Garage Maker thingy. We're going to be picking that up here pretty soon. I said I didn't want to spend any money before Disney. But I actually just got a $500 check from nowhere. I mean, it came from my mom's apartment building, but that I put aside for Disney. But I think I'm going to pull out the $40 for the game. I'm really interested in that. I'm pretty sure one of our kids here is one of those tech people. She loves getting into programming and all that stuff. So I was kind of hoping she would help me with the game. We originally did it with a free software that I could put on the Mac, whereas the NES Maker you can't. It was like an RPG maker for Game Boy. It was a free setup, and we just never got into it. And I said, you know what? More people would probably want to play like an NES cart than they would one of those anyway. So, and I don't know what I'm doing. But I think that would be fun. I mean, I know that's not going to teach me all the ropes, but at least it'll give me an idea what gets into it, I guess. I don't know. It could just be literally like Excite Bike on steroids. I don't have Mario Maker, so I don't know if it'll be close to that. I know what Mario Maker is all about. I've done it. But I don't know if it'll be that kind of drag and drop thing. I'm sure for the most part it will be. There'll be no actual programming, no typing, but hopefully it'll be educational as well as entertaining. So I can get a little bit of an idea there. And Chris of Video Games Dust Sleeve told me a number of times that he programmed in the past or something like that. And if I ever need any help, that he'd be willing to be there as my consigliere. And he didn't call it that, but I'm going to call it that because, it's the East Coast flair. If you don't know what a consigliere is, then, all right, well, don't mean shit to you. So, the fun is back. Yes! 86 is when the Junior system came out. No, I knew when it came out. I'm just trying to think what year they stopped selling Atari 2600 consoles. I think it's 1990. You know what? Nah, I'm not going to look it up. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Only because I feel like an idiot now. All right. I'm gonna Google. All right, let's see. Let's see what we come up with here. 92, according to this. According to this, the lifespan was 77 to 92. I would never have guessed that. I would have thought 1990. Discontinued January 1st, 1992. Now, that's Wikipedia. So, I mean, take that for however you want to take it. But, okay, that's surprising me. I knew it was into the early 90s, but I didn't think it went that fucking far. Jesus. I'm making it sound like 2 years is like a fucking astronomical amount of time. But when it comes to the Atari 2600, those 2 extra years are pretty significant. Let's see. 90, I believe. There might have been a few stragglers, of course. 90. Now, I'm pretty sure. Let me look at that again. Now, you're talking about games themselves. I'm talking about the console. And this is talking about the console itself was discontinued. But there could have been a couple of game stragglers here and there, too. Yeah. Thanks, Laser Brain. Let's see. It was early 90s. I remember that. Clax was being developed for the 2600 but never released. Yep, I remember that as well. Okay, so we've solved the big mystery. The big Atari 2600 mystery. I love my Junior. That thing is so cool. I want to customize it. I want to paint it. I just don't want to take it apart because they're a pain in the ass to... Now, okay, now that I just did that, and I do that every now and again throughout the video, people have actually asked that in my videos, bring the guitar out more. So I have been. But can you imagine if I'm sitting here, I'm at my dining room table, by the way, and you're my significant other or whatever, and you come over and ask a question, you're like, hey Chris, is a linkite molecule effective without a titanium friction reducer? And I'm like, well, let me tell you about the linkite molecule. And I just go... What were we talking about? That happens. That happens in real life. The girls will come over, the kids will come over, and they'll be like, Dad, something important. And I'll be like, oh! Hopefully that doesn't get me a copyright strike. I played it out of key, okay? I played it out of key. I'm going to put on the bridge pickup. But yeah, I do that all the time. How about Night Trap theme? Nah, you know what? I'm going to start learning some video game themes. I used to know how to play Bloody Tears from, I think it was called Bloody Tears, right? Do from Castlevania 2. One of my favorite themes of all time. But I haven't played it in like five, maybe even a decade, maybe that long. So I'll have to relearn it. And that, I know that. Tell me what that is. I mean, it's a little more, ramped up or anything. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will learn some video game themes and randomly just play them. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should do that. I mean, I've mentioned 100 times that I've wanted to rebrand this channel like Games and Guitars. But maybe we will. Maybe we'll do that. I used to do this thing at the end of my videos. Like Linda and a few other people will remember. Guess that riff or something like that. I would do it at the very end. At the very end of the video, it'd be a separate recorded thing where I played a riff or a part of a riff or whatever. And people, whether it was a riff or a lick, it didn't matter. And I would have people guess. It was a way to engage people in the comments and hopefully get them to watch the whole video. There was a reason behind it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't do little things here and there, but I try to get the engagement. But I used to do that all the time, and it went well. People loved it, and maybe I should. Bring that back, but do a lot more like video game stuff. I want to pick up a new instrument, but I can't decide between 6 or 4. Well, my friend, why not both? If by 6 or 4 you mean an actual like a lead guitar versus a bass guitar, you can buy 6-string bass guitars. Or 4-string electric guitars. They're called tenor guitars. Or you could get a cigar box guitar that's 3, 4, however many strings. I think bass is more fun. I have a bass that I've been working on here for a while. We're going to get to here pretty soon. If you look in my, my feed go back a little ways. Not too far. It's this past year. I found a bass guitar. It was one of those Japanese import guitars from like the 60s and 70s, like the Tesco's and stuff like that. I found it for like $22 or something like that at Savers. And I did a cloth top to it, or a fabric top with monsters on it. I can't get to it right now to show it to you, but you don't see any of that work done in the video, but I introduce it, we take it apart, we look at it and try to figure out what's what. Bass is fun. Bass is really fun. I prefer this, but I don't know. I can't really, I don't know what you're into. So I can't really go that way. Yeah, I know. I knew you meant guitar or bass. I was just being a fucking weirdo. But yeah, I mean, you know what? When it comes to stringed instruments, there is tuning, but at the end of the day, there's really no rules. There's no rules. Keith Richards, think of what he used to. I mean, he used to remove a string from his guitars. A lot of his Telecasters were only 5 strings, and they were tuned up to an open chord. Same as like a cigar box guitar. You typically tune that to an open chord. Oh, excuse me. Not sleeping well lately. Bass guitar can be fun. I'm not very good at the bass. When I'm done with this thing, I can't wait to show you how horrible I am at playing bass. But yeah, I don't know. I personally think 6 strings are more fun, but there's more to deal with. But I think there's more availability too. There is more option as far as voicings and tones and vibe. Not that there isn't with the bass guitar, but I think a 6-string, just your standard guitar, regardless of what you get, I think there are more options as far as a creative outlet with a guitar than there would be with a bass. Whether you go acoustic, whether you go acoustic, or you go the hybrid like the, God, I really want the Jazzmaster version of the Acoustasonic that Fender put out. It's a solid body acoustic guitar. And there's very few products that speak to my soul, and that one right there, the one with the nice little sunburst finish, looks like a pancake burnt. But yeah, that's a good point. More room for growth with guitar. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could say it that way too, which is easier to learn. Bass, I'm not going to say either one's easier to learn because they're their own thing. Just because there's less strings on a bass doesn't mean shit as far as ease of play. They both have a lot of hurdles to go through if you've never played anything like that before. You have to strengthen up your hands differently for each instrument. Remember that. If you're not going to use a pick with a bass guitar, then these need to start fucking becoming the man or the woman. You know what I mean? They need to fucking toughen up, and then you need to learn how to. With bass, it's more in my experience anyway. It's more dancing on the fretboard. You know what I mean? You're like. It's almost like you're always playing jazz. With a guitar, it's more rigid and solid, and you're not really dancing around it. You're playing chords and you're running scales, Whereas with a bass guitar, again, in my experience, you're just kind of walking around. You're just kind of walking around the boards. And a good bass player doesn't play the guitar lines. They learn to play in the key, but they're in tune with the bass, the drums more than they are the rest of the band, Cliff Burton is an excellent example of that. I mean, yeah, he played with the band. I mean, he played that, but had to finish that. Oh, now I'm going to be fucking playing Master of Puppets all day. I'm going to crank up the fucking PV and curve out that fucking mid-range and crank it up and play me some Metallica. But yeah, I don't know. It really goes to what, and I don't want to get too deep on it, but what this is talking right here. You know, what speaks to you more when you're listening? I mean, are you a Flea fan more than you are, say, a Satriani fan? I'm not saying that you're a fan of either one, but you get what I'm saying. I don't know. I can't. You just have to go into a guitar shop or something, or find a couple of real dirt cheap examples, and play around and see which one tickles your fancy, gets you hot. You know, because you never know. You never know. You could be at Guitar Center and you're playing a couple basses and playing a couple guitars, and there's a really cool ukulele on the fucking shelf, and you pick up the ukulele and all of a sudden it just speaks to you, and you know it and you feel it and it's in your gut, and you're like, you know what? Fuck the guitar. Fuck the bass. I'm gonna go to Maui and learn to play this fucking ukulele, you know? Music is a wonderful thing. It's so amazing. It's very personal. It has no rules. There are no fucking rules. Yeah, I mean, you have tunings and stuff like that, like I was trying to get at earlier. But, Cat, there ain't no fucking rules whatsoever. Make noise that makes you happy, and hopefully others will come along. And I'm going to leave you all with that one, okay? A little inspirational musical quote. You know, go out there and make something wonderful that makes you happy, and hopefully others will follow along. Hey, everyone, thanks so much for coming by. I really do appreciate it. Again, let's recap for anyone who hasn't been around. Did I get rid of everything? I did. I got rid of everything. We looked at the trailer, we looked at this, and then we also checked this pre-sale for Intellivision Amico controllers and talked about it. So if you wanna scroll on back and check that shit out, I would appreciate it, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Don't forget, we're still in the battle. We're still in the battle against Alzheimer's. Down below, there are a couple things you can do to help out. You can click on the link directly to the Alzheimer's Association, where I have set up a page where you can donate. My goal this year is going to be, it's always $1,000 on paper, but I want to get to $2,500 this year. We got to $2,000 last year, and I did the Pocky One Chip Challenge for you guys live for getting me there, and we're going to try to figure out something. I need your creativity to tell me, what do you want me to do to look like an idiot or get hurt if we make $2,500 fucking dollars? But if you click on that link, you could directly donate to the Alzheimer's Association. All the money goes towards research. We just had a big milestone this past month with a new medication, first one in 20 years, to help slow the effects of Alzheimer's and other memory-related diseases. You could share that link if you don't have a few extra bucks. Believe me, I know. My bank account is $4 right now because I don't use my bank that often. By the way, I'm a cash guy. Just to let you know. But you can share the link. You can share the link if you don't have the means, which is perfectly all right. And maybe somebody that you know who normally wouldn't have donated will be like, you know what? This speaks to me. I'm gonna throw 10, 15 bucks this guy's way to help him in his cause. And that helps out just as much. I've gotten more donations that way than I have from just bugging the same people every year who graciously continue to come back and help out. And I do appreciate each and every one of you. We got some really fun stuff. I do giveaways all year round. I normally do them periodically. Like, okay, the next person to donate $5 or more will get this, whatever the fuck. You know, I don't have anything game related here to show you. But, you know, this year I think I'm going to take all the prizes and just do it all at the end with one big, okay, this one's for this thing. Okay, Jimmy, message me and you're going to get the fucking doohickey or whatever. And I still have more things coming. A lot of really cool stuff to give away, so you don't want to be, and all you have to do is donate. I'm not even setting a limit. I'm not setting a limit. And of course, video game dust sleeves. They have a dust sleeve set aside for this. All proceeds go to the Alzheimer's Association. I have a t-shirt down below in my TeePublic. It's the official 2021 Creep Walk to End Alzheimer's shirt. You buy that, all that goes directly to the Alzheimer's Association. Once I get paid, which it's actually the last payment, 15 bucks is still in my PayPal. So I need to get going and get that going. Maybe I'll let it build up a little bit more before I do. But it is in my PayPal, and it's waiting to go on the 15th of every month. TeePublic throws the money at me, and we'll get it into the same link that you'll click on. So please, if you would, any way to support, I would greatly appreciate it, guys. I hope you have a great afternoon. I can't thank you guys enough for watching. This is so fun to do, and I never thought I'd be a live stream kind of guy, but I've been doing it more regularly, and I hope you're enjoying it. So if there are any specific things that you want to see or hear or whatever, let me know. You know, give me an idea. Steer the ship. I have no idea. I will start playing more games, I promise you. Things are starting to calm down a little bit here. If you don't know what's been going on the past few months, we had a loss in the family, and I'm just, it's been hard to deal with, and I had an abscess tooth, and I just haven't been feeling well, and so I've been lazy. About playing games and getting videos out. But I appreciate you folks sticking around, and all you new folks who come by. I really hope you stick around, and let me know what you like and what you don't like. Thumbs up, thumbs down, all feedback to this guy is fucking positive. Until next time, I hope you're doing well. Take care. Creep it real.